Plot twist. Still alive! What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Plot Twist, Still Alive! It is your hostess with the mostest, 3-time cancer survivor and chaos coordinator, Krystal with a K. Oh my gosh, so I think we are actually on episode 30, which is fucking huge. Thank you guys so much for continuing to listen and support. We are going to do our Master of Plot Twists episode. We initially started this because there's a lot of people out there that do things on their fuck it list. Most people want to do, but either they're too afraid or they don't know where to start. And these ladies did something that I think most people want to do, but are just too scared to do. And they created their very own business. Women run, who run the world? Girls. But more than that, they created a business that is extremely near and dear to my heart because they are serving the breast cancer community. So everybody help us say hello to Courtney and Krystal with a C. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hi.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, I'm so glad it's Courtney with a C and Krystal with a C and Krystal with a K because 3 Ks is never okay. No, so I've known you ladies for a little while, but I would love to start with why you decided to start your own business and why specifically nipple tattooing, eyebrow tattooing, tattoos, and working with the breast cancer community.
Well, thanks for having us, Krystal with a K. We're so excited to be here with you. The story of Perky started around COVID timeframe. We just had a total shift of mindset and we wanted to help the breast cancer community, but in our own way, a safe space to get a nipple tattoo from a nurse who's more friendly and trustworthy than a nurse to give you your nipple tattoos.
Well, and you guys have a little bit of history. So let's rewind a little further because you guys met in nursing school, right? And that's a trauma within itself. Like we know that's a straight trauma bond. I've done it myself. You're friends forever. Blood in, blood out, bitch.
It's funny. We have like videos or photos because it was back in the day of us like in the simulation lab placing catheters or doing IVs. So that's always fun to reminisce on that. But yeah, we went to nursing school together.
Yeah, and it in those simulation labs, it's nowhere near what it's actually like in real life. Like half the time you can't even find which hole to put the catheter in. It is not that clean cut.
You're just freeballing it.
That's right. But then you also have ties to breast cancer, personal ties.
Yeah, my mom's side of the family, grandma, my mom, aunt, my uncle. Well, my uncle had brain cancer, but so much cancer and so much breast cancer on my mom's side of the family. Going into nursing school, I knew that I wanted to help women. Then once I graduated and started working with breast reconstructive patients, that's where we learned about nipple tattooing.
I started out my nursing career in the hospital, and fortunately, Krystal let me know of an opening at the reconstructive clinic. So we rejoined there.
Speaking as a breast cancer survivor, I do think that it's kind of hard to escape the clinical portion of breast cancer. Out of everything, cancer taking your breasts makes you feel unattractive. It's a sexual intimacy thing. And this is one of the hardest things that women endure when they're going through breast cancer specifically is losing their breasts and their nipples. Can you give me a little insight on what that was like to watch patients go through that and where it clicked, where you guys were like, we need to fill this void where we can help these women?
Yeah, I think understanding the weight and the impact that nipple tattoos can have on a survivor was definitely part of our decision making, walking a breast cancer survivor through their reconstructive journey from mastectomy, like the amputation of their breasts, to then reconstructing the breast with their amazing surgeons. But then that breast mound just being a breast mound, not being like a full breast until they had that nipple tattoo. They didn't fully see the completion until the tattoo was there in many cases. So acknowledging the weight and the power that a nipple tattoo can have in providing some closure in that journey.
Well, and also these women go through so much. So when you're their support through diagnosis all the way to completing reconstruction, there's a lot of things you're hearing as a nurse that they're suffering through, and maybe their physicians don't have time to speak with them about it. So we did learn a lot about survivorship. You don't ring the bell and you're done. There's so much that goes into living your life post-cancer. And that was really a motivation for us to create services and create a business that was catered to that.
Well, I appreciate you guys saying that, especially as advocates. It's not just as simple as a tattoo. You advocate for these women. So many start this journey, they're in the cancer tunnel and have no idea what their options even are. They have no idea that they can get a deep flap, they can get implants, they can stay flat. There are so many options when it comes to surgeries, and there are options when it comes to tattooing as well. So you guys see this need. You decide that you're going to do this around COVID time. That's terrifying to just be like, hey, let's go fucking start our own business. We had these jobs and they were working out and we're doing what we're supposed to do as nurses. How did you guys do that? How did you just dip out of your regular 9 to 5 and start a nipple inspired mission?
Yeah, you're right. That was scary. But also, I feel like we thrive in that, trusting our instinct. You're limited when you're an RN and not an MD. That's the reality of it. When you're a young female, some people may not take you seriously. So there was some setbacks along the way, but I am so thankful that I trusted my instinct and just went for it.
Like, who started the movement? Like, hey, sis, by the way, do you want to quit this job and come start a whole new business with me?
Guilty.
I
Always
was
the
gonna say,
Krystal. Always the
Always
fucking
Krystal.
Krystal.
whether it's a C or a K. No, I remember Krystal calling me and saying, I have this idea. And the first thought I had was, that sounds fucking cool. I really hope I can get to be a part of that. So, yes, it's scary and intimidating. And there's a lot of things around starting a business that we probably didn't know. But I also knew 100% that it was a great idea, that it's something that we could do, and it's something that would be amazing. Sometimes you just know.
It's also like fun when you don't know something. Like you can figure it out. Like you have a brain. If you really want to do something and make an impact or create positive change, you can do it. You're thoroughly capable of it. So it took a lot of researching like legalities and getting like, lawyers that weren't expensive and trusting your instinct. And look at what we created. Our intention was to create a safe space for survivors in general, but for them to come to a space specific to them to get their tattoos rendered. Because, outside of Perky, it was getting it at the doctor's office where we mentioned earlier, maybe not the ideal thorough attention was placed on the tattoos because there's so many other moving parts in the clinic and limited time and so many patients to care for. So that wasn't able to be your sole focus. Outside of the doctor's office, it's going to a traditional tattoo parlor, which maybe isn't the vibe for every breast cancer
Right.
survivor.
A chick like me, I could probably swing that and be fine.
You'd rock it.
But
Krystal with a K would be fine there.
I'd be absolutely fine. I thrive in anywhere, basically.
But that's Krystal with a C's. I don't know.
No, you Krystal with a C's. You could not. And there's nothing wrong with that. Not speaking for every warrior, but for me, going to the hospital or a hospital setting almost triggers you a little bit. It's kind of, it's a traumatic place. You don't want to keep having to go if you don't have to. When the doc's like, hey, I don't have to see you for the next 6 months, you're like, thank the fucking gods. You're so excited about that. So to have to go back to get a nipple tattoo, I don't know that I would necessarily want to do that either. People have to come to your space because it is the most welcoming nipple paraphernalia in the most tasteful way, just very feminine and warm and welcoming. It's a whole experience. You're not just giving nipple tattoos. Like, this is an entire experience. So you both, as besties, which I'm assuming you had to be, I wouldn't quit my job for anyone's side of my bestie, but you guys have the same disease as me where you think you're capable of whatever the fuck you put your mind to, and you're right. So call us crazy if you will.
Amen.
Hallelujah. So if we're crazy, that's fine, but we're also successful and we drink our own Kool-Aid. So we're good. Look, I have a podcast now, but it's a great time.
You got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
You also
I
have to
do.
acknowledge that great things all had a starting point.
100%. So you guys have this idea and you get the lawyers and you do all the things to make sure you're doing it appropriately and that it's going to be successful. Then what?
We used to pedal around town. We were trying to get the word out. So of course we had to grow things. We had our main source is referrals from physicians. So we had to sort of prove ourselves to physicians, but also learn how to market a heavily censored product. So nipple tattooing, nipples on women in particular, it gets censored.
Not
And
easily
Clutch
shareable.
my pearls.
and
Yeah.
we found that out the hard way, posting things in our original Facebook account was deleted. So just learning along the way how to navigate marketing a niche service to get it to people who need it.
It's really crazy how society labels something that's so therapeutic and meant to be restorative as porn or sexualized. And it's like, come on, people, we gotta elevate ourselves from that.
The fact that you can show it on men, same tattoo, because we've done it, and that doesn't get flagged at all. It can even be on a male's butt and not flagged, but a woman on her breast where it belongs, restoring something that was taken, flagged, censored, porn, nudity.
So you've tattooed a man's ass, shown a man's ass, and that doesn't get censored because it's a man's ass?
Guilty.
Oh my gosh, Krystal, you're naughtier than I thought.
There might be a K in there somewhere.
I feel like you changed it to a C to seem more professional, but like I see you now, sis. We click. There's a reason. Usually Krystal with the C's and it's hit or miss, baby. So just for shits and giggles, I also want people to know, anyone that's censoring this or looking at a sexual, if you have a deep flap, this is made from my mom pooch. It's not even a real breast, okay? If women get implants, that's fake. There's nothing there. We can't even feel it. If we do get a nipple tattoo, it's basically just an optical illusion. You can get the little buds, but I want women to know that this is something that can actually make you whole. It doesn't have to be sexual for anyone else. These breasts are actually made after a lot of pain, just so a woman can feel like a woman again, which, make no mistake, breasts or not, that does not define you as a woman. To me, you doing everything that you can to survive and be here for your children, for your significant other, for yourself, that is the most beautiful, strong, womanly thing that I could ever think of. I've seen some beautiful flatties, but you should not feel like they have to censor it because men can't contain themselves. That's ridiculous. And I know I have men listeners. Thank you guys for listening. This is completion, giving something that cancer took from these women. So it's a big deal for them. And for us as women, of course, it might make us feel sexy and give us that back, but that's a fucking gift. And nowadays in society, women are allowed to be sexual, that we are allowed to show our bodies and be comfortable with them. So I don't know. You could tell me, you said 2020 is kind of when this kicked off. Has it started to get better when it comes to that?
I actually think it's gotten worse because now social media are using AI to crawl everything and flag everything. So there's a lot more picking up as nudity, even though their community guidelines say post mastectomy images are A-OK, the AI bots will flag it and pull things down. And they actually just delete your accounts without warning.
Even posts about nurse coaching that had nothing to do with nipples or nipple tattoos, those are even getting pulled down.
So is it because your account's been flagged once already, so they just like nitpick everything?
I think it's the use of the word nipple that flags, and then anything that could potentially look like a nipple is flagging based on like AI just being a little too,
Sensitive.
overcompensating. Yeah.
AI needs to grow up, okay? These are bodies,
Yeah,
human bodies. That's why, because they don't get it, because they don't have one.
They just don't get it.
It also has to be super frustrating because you can't just pick up the phone and call AI. Like there's no 1-800 number to call. So you're having to have potentially your Facebook taken down or being flagged and limited on what you can do. How do you feel like that affects your ability to show warriors what your work looks like, make them feel comfortable with it? Do you feel like that impacts it?
Absolutely. They take away our features. So things that could help us grow and reach more people that need this service are getting removed, and we don't have that capability. So it does make you pause a little bit before you post. But on the flip side, I'm Karen with a K. I'm going to be up there posting it and nagging them on support chats because these are not
Karen with a K.
Karen with a K. These are not, it's not nudity. It is a helpful resource. And per the community guidelines, it clearly states that it's allowed. So that just really bugs me. But
And social media is so important. Time after time, we're hearing women say that they found out about nipple tattooing or about Perky through Instagram, through YouTube. It's so impactful. So the fact that they're trying to cover this over us is really difficult to navigate.
someone just commented that one that we posted recently was the end goal for them. They're in the middle of the process right now, and seeing that gave them something to look forward to.
Mhm.
So it's incredibly important, and it shouldn't be censored.
Look, if I know nothing else about women with K's in their names, they know how to fucking complain about shit. So if you want to be Courtney with the K for a little bit, that's okay. You can borrow the K. I commend you guys for being so big on advocating and believing in what you do, that you're willing to consistently be the squeaky wheel. And you should be, because again, this is not cosmetic. This is something that helps warriors feel complete and gives them back something that cancer robbed them of. So keep doing that shit. Keep that up, ladies. Going back to Perky's beginnings, you guys said you were peddling your nipples around town. and gaining a lot of trust within the medical profession. How long did it take you guys to become established and finally find a home, if you will, for Perky?
I actually have memories of Courtney and I going around San Antonio or surrounding cities and literally peeping flyers of Nipples in the elevators, like in the medical hallways, out in their outdoor foyers. Think about posting a nipple flyer, but you got to do what you got to do.
Oh, I'm sure people triple take. They're like, wait, what? Whoa. And it's not
Also
AI.
curious,
They're humans with human bodies and nipples. So they get it.
and I'm curious how long our little flyers stayed where
Yeah.
we placed them or if they were taken down.
Well, some of them I won't name the coffee shops, but a few places wouldn't let
Yes.
us post them. So
Yes.
How rude. You know what? I will not be getting coffee from there. You don't have to talk about who they are, but you can give me their names later. So they're on my
Maybe-
blacklist. Won't do it.
it took probably a year or two for us to grow to the point where surgeons that didn't know who we were already felt comfortable referring to us, for us to grow social media where people could find us and find the service. It did take time.
All good things do take time. And then you guys finally found a place to call home, and you guys are in the medical center in San Antonio. How did you come about this place?
Well, when we were starting Perky and looking for a brick and mortar, we landed on this spot and it had a great location in the heart of the San Antonio Medical Center. And we thought it would just be a very convenient location for people in San Antonio and surrounding areas to get to. And also, it has the comfort of not being just a random tattoo parlor. It might be right next door to your plastic surgeon. So it's just a nice, safe environment.
And we were very intentional with the decor, making it feel warm, including tasteful boob decor everywhere and female forms, and just really being inclusive. We have a mastectomy mural. People can find themselves in things here. So we wanted it to be comfortable, warm, inviting.
And not sterile and
Yes.
cold.
Well, mission accomplished, ladies. I absolutely love your space. I think it is super warm. It's literally nail on the head of what you guys were just describing. And it's so different than going into a doctor's office or a tattoo parlor, as we talked about. So fucking knocked it out of the park. It's been, what, 5 years since you guys have been like official and you have your own space. It is everything that I would imagine what you guys dreamed of. I've watched multiple warriors come in here and just feel at ease immediately. You guys are super trustworthy too. I don't know if it's your sweet faces or what, but the energy's everywhere. You can feel it. So, what all do you offer at Perky? Because I'm sure initially it just started with nipple tattooing, right? Which is incredible in itself. But what other things does Perky do for the breast cancer warriors?
It's really cool. When we were planning Perky, we had an ongoing list of all the things that we wanted to offer and include. We started with nipple tattooing, and then that went into eyebrows and scar camouflage and all different sorts of tattoo services catered to a breast cancer survivor. Now we're starting to tackle different things that we didn't offer in our initial years. So now we're 5 years in, going to be celebrating our 5th birthday pretty soon.
Happy birthday!
But now we're offering nurse coaching. So that's really great. And we're sitting here in the Thrive Room where we'll be doing coaching and just helping survivors navigate survivorship and just try to create positive change in their lives. And then we're working on a few other things. So stay tuned, but we're excited for this 5-year mark for us.
First of all, that space is super inviting too. I was actually in there helping Courtney with the C build a cabinet a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I offered free of charge. I don't have a job right now, so this is it. So I helped. It's still together ish.
It's still standing strong. So you did a good job.
Yeah.
Don't put anything heavy on it. But I do recognize one of the warriors in the back. That's Becca. She's beautiful. And I love that that's in the therapy space. I think that it's so important for people to see women reclaiming their sexiness and their confidence. And those pictures just exemplify that behind you. So again, fantastic.
And these women really stepped outside of their comfort zone. So we're so proud to showcase them because they look amazing.
Isn't it weird though when you start the photo shoot and then you end the photo shoot and then they see the results? It's like this process.
That just truly embodies the Perky journey.
Mm-hmm.
You come through the doors, probably it's your first tattoo. You're nervous as heck. You don't know what to expect. You never thought you'd have to have a tattoo before. You're not comfortable in your own skin because you just had mastectomy and breast reconstruction. You're nervous, and then you get the service done or you get the coaching. You're leaving transformed in a positive way. And that's truly the Perky journey, like what you just described.
And willing to wear a sheer bra.
Hey, Who knows what the Perky girls will get you doing?
Yeah.
I know, you
We-
can't trust these ladies.
Yes.
No, you can. You literally can trust them with your nipples. And also, I just want to add that we're probably going to say nipples about 470 more times. So if you want to have a fun drinking game with your friends, though I do not condone over drinking, I do think this would be a great one. Anyway, in all sincerity, you're right. That is the process. And you guys are not just doing the exterior. Your tattoos give them something, confidence, wholeness, all of that. But then taking it a step further and actually coaching them, because cancer's not done just because treatment is over. Cancer's not complete just because you have your nipple tattoos. In fact, you live with it the rest of your life. As somebody who had it 3 times, I can honestly say it will never leave my mind. It's always going to be there. I choose not to focus on it every single day, but there are days that it hits me like a fucking brick wall and I feel like I'm right back to when I was diagnosed. And having scars and looking at myself in the mirror, I'm wearing my cancer all of the time, always. And when you go through chemo, you have that. But once you go through a mastectomy, specifically deep flap, when you lose your nipples, it's that extra level of, wow, this is me post cancer. So I think it's so beautiful that you guys are encompassing every part of the warrior, their mind, their body, their emotions. I'm so proud of you guys. I love it. So you guys do all of these incredible things, right? Eyebrows, you did mine. They're fantastic. Krystal, don't you have like an eyebrow trick you can do? Like The Rock?
Oh, okay.
If you smell what Perky is cooking,
I can do the right. I can do the
you
left.
got it. Quite the pair. Nipples, eyebrows, scar camouflaging. And along the way, you met some other advocates. So I think it's time to talk about how our paths crossed because I feel like it all happened for a reason. We'll get into that in a second. But I would love for you guys to tell our meet cute or cute meet or how we met.
It all started with Jen Reynolds, founder of Pink Warrior Advocates. She was going through treatment and stopped by, and we had a nice long conversation with her. I think she had a vision right then to start a program, but that didn't end up coming to fruition with her. She passed before we were able to do that. And then when you took the reins, we had a meeting here, right?
Yeah, you came with some of the other members, but that was early on when Perky initially started. And I remember you and like Jen's mom and a few others, and we were sitting on the couch and just chatting, introducing Perky to your organization. I was going to say Jen's energy is so amazing. We were so honored that she was able to be here and see Perky. That meant a lot to us. And it's been a great partnership with Pink Warrior Advocates and Perky. So we're very blessed to have them serving our ladies in our community.
I remember that meeting too, and how just genuine both of you were, and how comfortable I was immediately. Jen knew how to read people, and she knew when she wanted to collaborate, she was a force. Hearing what you guys said and knowing her, I knew that this was something we had to like act on.
And I think like she made me cry. I think I cried at some point.
Yeah,
I cried.
like we didn't know her very well, but like many people say, she made an impact immediately. It was a short meeting, but I still remember to this day, like what I learned from that meeting.
Well, and not to get overly emotional, but I think this is a really cathartic thing for me because we were actually supposed to do this episode last week and I was sick as hell. So I was like, can we do it next week? And then I realized I'm releasing it on the day of her birthday. So it's actually super special to me that I get to be talking to you ladies. Again, we met in, I think, 2022, shortly after she passed. And 4 years later, you guys are now working with her organization, hand in hand, advocating for the breast cancer community. And I'm just so proud that I got to play a part in that. Happy birthday to her. And I'm also so happy to have you guys in my lives.
No, you helped us carry on her legacy. We're really proud of the collaboration and thank you for doing that.
You had a huge part in creating the Perky Restoration Program, which I think is so amazing for local and now national survivors to get nipple tattoos covered through Pink Warrior Advocates, an amazing organization. So we're very thankful.
So that was 2022. About 2 years later, we used your nipples to give away at a gala, and it was a live auction item. And we raised, I think, like $12,000. Somebody was willing to donate to give a warrior nipples that they didn't even know or didn't even meet. And from there, we're like, we've got the money, let's start the program. And so now it's 2 years. It went from local to national. It has raised a ton of money. I'm incredibly proud to have been part of that. Again, I can't take credit. I just saw the momentum and the direction that she wanted. I saw you guys' drive and how you help serve so many and the gift that you give warriors. And I was like, say less. I'm on the fucking train. Let's go. So I'm humbled and very proud. And I've been very honored to keep her alive through this organization and watching you guys just thrive in what you do. Speaking of the Perky program, can you tell me a little about how that works and what other resources that Perky offers? Because again, it doesn't just start and end with nipple tattooing.
Yeah, the Perky Restoration Program select someone each month to be covered for their nipple tattoos.
And it applies to previvors as well as survivors. So even if you've had a prophylactic mastectomy, even if you're a stage 4 warrior, you can apply for the program. The grant covers one service. It could be nipple tattooing, scar camouflage, eyebrow micropigmentation, any of those services. So if you're not someone who necessarily needs nipples, you can still get a service covered through the grant.
You can apply via our website, helloperky.com, and then go through resources to the restoration program and then just fill out a brief information.
That's absolutely incredible. Again, you're able to service different breast cancer warriors. Not everyone loses their nipples. There are nipple sparing mastectomies. So they can get different services through that. And then do you have to wait a certain period of time? I know for the eyebrows, you can't do it during chemo. So I know you had mentioned before that if you get them prior, like if you know you have to do chemotherapy, it's good to get them before because a lot of people on chemo lose their eyebrows, their eyelashes, all of that. But what other recommendations do you have in terms of surgeries and wait times in order to get the tattoos?
Yeah, exactly like you said for eyebrows. If you have time to wait before starting your first treatment to get your tattoos done prior to chemo so that you have something there as you lose the eyebrow hair. And then when it comes to breast surgery, we usually get your surgeon's clearance. Usually that's around 3 to 4 months. Make sure everything's fully healed, that the swelling has subsided, scars are matured. That way you can take the ink well. We're always mindful of radiation and the impacts on your skin. So during your initial consultation, we'll assess and make sure that based on physical assessment that you're ready to go as well.
And that's where us having a nursing background is really helpful. So we can know that you're medically ready and that it's safe for you.
Yeah.
And we also make sure that they're emotionally ready.
I love that. The Perky Restoration Program actually isn't the only way that you guys collaborate. Speaking of those beautiful bras behind you, you are also sponsors of the bra program that's powered by Ana Ono, right? And how does that work?
Yeah. So these photos were taken at an amazing photo shoot. It was Perky, Ana Ono, and Pink Warrior Advocates. We requested the mesh line so that the nipple tattoos could shine through the garments. And those photos just came out beautiful. The women felt beautiful. We all had such a great time. But through Pink Warrior Advocates, there's the bra program. So they give out free mastectomy bras upon applying on a national level. And we're honored to be a sponsor for that.
Yeah, and that's through the Pink Warrior Advocates website or even through Ana Ono.
And even if you don't get a free bra, they typically send you some sort of discount code so that you can use that to get it. You guys just are like the gifts that keep on giving, my Perky girls. So you guys have known me a long time. Ever since I had the words mastectomy mentioned to me by my doctor back in 2018, I was like, I'm getting art. I'm never getting nipple tattoos. And it's crazy because I've watched how the transition and the process works for so many. And it's been a gift for me to be able to do that because it fills my cup to help warriors. But I also hadn't had a deep flap yet. So whenever I had my deep flap and I was re-diagnosed in April of 2024, I reconsidered and I ended up having to remove my nipples. And that was the first time I saw my flaps. And even though I had seen a ton before, I was genuinely still struggling with accepting my new body. Before, when I had nipples, I don't feel like the double mastectomy hit me as hard once I had the reconstruction. I kept telling myself, though, I'm going to get art. But you guys know how this works. Deep flap is not just one surgery. I ended up having 4 within 21 months. So I'm in the in-between, and you're just living in the in-between. And I kept going back and forth about, no, I want art. No, I want art. But every time y'all would pop up on my social media, or I would talk to you, or I would see these beautiful photographs that you took. I'm like, why don't I want nipples? Why don't I want them? And it dawned on me, I was scared to get nipples because I was afraid they would make me miss my previous breasts. But I also realized that once I had accepted my body with no nipples, because I truly got to a place where I loved my body, I wanted them because they're something new. They're something brand new. And so I decided I want to come and get nipple tattoos. Plot twist, bitch, I'm getting nipple tattoos right now, and you're coming along. I'm here for the nipples.
You're in the right spot.
All right. Good to see you, Bo. Okay, guys, this is the time where you turn around. If you cannot handle the human body because you can't be an adult, stop right there. It's like at a fucking scary movie. Do not go, do not enter. Are they gone? Perfect. Before we start, we're going to give you a little nipple exposure. No actual nipples are being shown. We are simply doing nipple tattooing as a restoration part of breast cancer reconstruction. And to start you off, we're going to start nice and easy with a temporary tattoo. Yeah, you like that? So these are actually going to be on the market soon. Our very own Perky girls are creating their own temporary tattoos. And the coolest part about this is these are all styled and taken directly off of the women that they've already tattooed. So a warrior already has these. It's absolutely incredible. I think it's time for me to say goodbye to my flipples. So let's do it. And if I cry, don't judge me. I'm ready. Let's do this shit. I've signed my paperwork. I've said goodbye to my flipples, and we're going to start the process. I know you guys have even done fun shapes like hearts and things like that. How often do you do it based on what they had before versus something completely different?
Great question. We always ask if you have a photo of what they used to look like to bring it with you. 9 times out of 10, women just want to start fresh and figure it out here in this room today. Every so often, we have someone who really
Loved pre-cancer nipples. I think that's so valid. The reason I had to say goodbye is because it took a lot to learn how to love my body with these scars. That's probably the reason that I waited so long. Learning to accept my body as it is, it's a process. You think there's a before and after, but you're stuck in the in between for so long. I forced myself to love my scars every single day. But I do want women to know, and even men that deal with things like this, because it's not just breast cancer. People are in car crashes. People have facial scars. People have all types of things that happen. You have to learn how to love your scars every single day. And some days you're not gonna, and that's okay. I'm ready to enter the next phase of who I am now. So I'm going to show you what I had before. I need you to stay over there though, because I do have inappropriate pictures. It's in my hidden, lots of them. So, most of the ones
with a K doing.
is Krystal with a K was sending a lot of pictures to her husband. This is what I was working with before.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I want to give you creative freedom because I trust you wholeheartedly. I know deep down you're Krystal with a K. So let's fucking do this. I'm excited.
I'll have that in the back of my mind.
Perfect.
But we'll start fresh. Old you will come through, but you're a new version.
I'm a brand new bitch, honestly.
So we need brand new nipples to match.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's do it. You stand
So
nice
stark.
and straight, and you're nice and soft. Great skin. So a little alcohol here for your nipples, not for you. So when it comes to the areola, are there any aspects of your scar that you really want to cover, or you just want things to be as centered as
I think
possible?
whatever makes sense on the breast. It doesn't, again, scars are going to be there. So
I think I can cover a lot of it.
I'm trusting you with my nipples completely. My nipples are in your hands, metaphorically and literally.
Hear that true? So how do you feel about where I place this?
Yes, I'm not used to, because I had smaller breasts. Like I have a lot more hang time now.
We want them to be perky.
We want them to be perky. You're welcome.
Nipple size? Do you like small,
Oh, yes.
big?
Wait, what? Oh, the nipple part.
Mhm.
So we picked a color. God chose the first ones, and Krystal with a C chose the second one. Who knows nipples better than you? All right, go ahead.
Vámonos. Tell me how this feels, okay?
Okay.
Do you feel that?
It's horrible. No, I'm just kidding. I don't feel anything. My flipples are
Okay.
basically numb.
Well, tell me. I have number. Tell me if you ever need it, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So what came to be that you sought nipple tattooing instead of a decorative tattoo?
Since I've met you, I was like, no, I'm getting art. I'm getting art this whole time. And I felt like it really went with who I am in general. I think losing my nipples and then specifically the intimacy aspect of it. If you have not listened to Frank and Titties or Frank and Titties 2 and you want to know my whole breast cancer journey, please go ahead and listen to those. But essentially, nipples are a huge part of sex and intimacy. And I really was worried that it bothered my husband so much so that I actually had it as an intrusive thought when we were intimate almost all the time. And I would ask him on a regular basis. He wholeheartedly loves me. And it wouldn't matter if I had 7 nipples. But for me, I think in order to get rid of that intrusive thought, that was the biggest thing is I want to do it for myself, for my husband, and to feel whole again. It was really you guys because I saw how many warriors you guys changed. Like I truly saw them just light up. I've been lucky enough to sit in this room and watch other people get to do this.
Yeah.
Really cool. You ladies are the best in the nation. I don't know about the world, but probably. And also beautiful and just incredible people. We had a warrior that we gifted a couple years ago. It was in honor of Jen. Her birthday's next week. And we did it in honor of Jen. I completely forgot about that.
Mhm.
Again, this shit's more and more cathartic. Not planned, guys. I swear. Just super cool. I'm all in my feels right now. But I watched her light up. And this specific warrior, she also has stage 4 cancer. So to give somebody something when they have a diagnosis of metastatic breast cancer, it's incurable. She's going to live the rest of her life with it. But that didn't mean she had to live the rest of her life not feeling comfortable in her own skin. I'm grateful, but now I'm not very grateful. It's my
No,
gosh.
that was
I'm such a
cool.
waterhead.
Is this what keeps you up at night?
No, it's the Nipples thing. And if Drew notices or not, I don't know what keeps me up at night. Honestly, I do. It's cancer 3 times. So I talk about having insomnia quite a bit. I do still 2 to 3 nights a week. It gets better when I exercise, but if I'm not, there's times when I'm not really in the mood. Taking some oxygen makes my energy level lower. I'm exercising, working out, or even just like walking or hiking. If I'm tired, I don't have this fat. So it may just be 1 night a week, but I've kind of learned to live with it. I don't really want to take anything for sleep. I have talked to my doctor about like other options. I know I'm not the only person. I just think it's another form of not diagnosed with PTSD, but it does feel like those are indicators of it. I'm functional. I can function with it, but it's just hard.
So insomnia also a side effect of tamoxifen?
It can be. The hot flashes, do not fuck around. That is a huge thing that keeps me up sometimes. Not even my brain. Even when I can sleep, I'll wake up and be drenched in sweat. So that's fun. I'm 40 and going through menopause. Thanks, breast cancer. God has favorites. I just want you guys to know. Hallelujah. I believe in therapy. I finally got into therapy in my late 20s when I was dealing with an abusive relationship, but then I've gone on and off after the loss of somebody I loved or cancer diagnosis and then cancer diagnosis again. I've gotten some tools. I've realigned where I need to be. But a lot of times it's sort of just having someone else there to move through that grieving process, if you will, because cancer is a grieving process. But I didn't realize until this last cancer diagnosis, I have anxiety. I never was one of those people that struggled with depression prior. And cancer happens to all types of people. If you struggled with depression, this is going to like kick it into overdrive. I wish more people were comfortable talking to their doctors, especially cancer patients, about the mental health aspect of it. It's a trauma. A good doctor is going to listen to you and treat the whole of you, not just the physical aspects, or at minimum, refer you out to somebody that can help you. I have never been on prescription drugs for depression or anxiety. I have realized I definitely have anxiety, and it's
How to
weird.
cope.
Not just hope, but I feel like I thrive in it. I'm really great at working at jobs where I have a million things to do and 0 time to do it. When life slows down, that anxiety's still there and I can't work it away. I just have to process it and actually acknowledge it. Like, hey, I'm anxious right now. So how do you help? What helps you pass this day? Getting in nature for sure. As she leaves it down, but now the fucking she takes. Yeah, no bullshit. Yeah, disconnecting from social media and from my phone, just kind of reconnecting within myself. Part of it is travel too, doing the things that I fill my cup instead of running on E all the time, because that just makes anxiety worse. And making the time to do that. Actually, the episode before this, 29, was all of those things combined. It was literally a bucket list trip. It was in nature. It was pushing myself more physically. Like I realized how capable I really am again. And it was also something that I got to do with our 8-year-old son and my husband. That's a fucking core memory now. Like it's not going anywhere. Never knowing how much time I have, it's so important for me to do those things because I want my children to always remember me as somebody who wasn't scared to do all of the things. I want them to live like that. I tell them that all the time. I'm just trying to like get out of survival mode. And I think I'm just starting to do that now with this last diagnosis. Because this one was a mind fuck. You have cancer once. Some people are able to move forward past it. I've met very few that can do that without ever being triggered, but some people can't. But for me, I had cancer when I was a kid initially. It's always been part of my life, and I've always tried to make it a positive thing. But each time in a sense, it's just, I'm accepting of it now. Like, this is probably going to be the thing that I see that does end up being the last part of my life. And I've made peace with that. But in the meantime, I'm going to do all the fucking things that I could possibly do. I'm not okay with it, but I am because I have to. I mean, me being toxically positive and pretending like, oh, it's not going to be okay. That's something that's not talked about enough either. People want you to be okay. And they're just doing the best to try and comfort you by saying, oh, you're okay. It won't come back. You're going to be fine.
That also makes it easier for them.
Right.
If they're okay, then
They're
glad I don't have to do.
I mean, there is the flip side when people walk up and they're like, oh, you have breast cancer. Yeah, my aunt died of that. Okay, please don't do that either. But there's a happy medium there where you can be like, you're valid in what you feel. You've seen cancer 3 times. Okay.
There's also an interesting reality that someone who has been diagnosed with cancer, survived it, they are almost been given a gift of appreciating time and life more so than someone who hasn't, had such a occurrence. I've never had cancer or a near-death experience. Someone who has a different perspective, and they're in a sweet spot where they're willing to take advantage of that second chance and create change in their life.
Unapologetically too. That's what I really want to embrace. So when I do weird things or cringy things, or even this podcast, like I'm sure people are like, oh my God, Krystal is getting nipples tattoos on her podcast. I don't care anymore. I'm truly living for myself and the people that I love now because life is too short. I don't want you to discredit yourself, Krystal with a C or Courtney with a C. I have met people that have advocated enough. You're impacted too by the things that we endured. And especially when you're in that role, whether you're a spouse or a child of somebody, when you watch someone go through this enough or enough people go through this,
it impacts you too.
Change too. And I think as people, as humans, you should be. That's the beautiful thing. You are definitely able to at least sympathize and put yourself in our shoes. Because I've watched you do it. You guys never say the weird thing or the wrong thing. You make room for us to feel all of the things. That's why I love what you guys do so much. Courtney's behind the scenes, but like she just looks teary-eyed the whole time I'm talking. We're all connected.
We are all interconnected. It's really interesting. It's very deep if you think about it. If you really go down that rabbit hole.
By the way, I just want to remind everyone who's watching this, if you came in last minute, these are not actual nipples. So please do not censor and please do not report this. These are only tattooed nipples for reconstruction purposes only. Thank you.
Haters.
Haters not hate. You guys are here in San Antonio. I've seen you guys go to Black Seas. They have a camp every year.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all get to travel a little bit with work? We'll actually be there when the episode drops. Black Seas? No way.
Oh yeah, on the 4th.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh. That is so wild. Very cool.
You need to go one year.
So
you would thrive though.
I've been wanting to go, and Courtney with a C. She talked to me about trying. They do like panels. I haven't been on a panel yet. That's on the bucket list now. So watch out, world. See if you're interested next year with Krystal with a K and I've got Krystal. Hopefully I'll have more followers. But then I don't know what's happening to me. All of a sudden I'm from New York. Well, didn't you have like a blog or something recently that talked about, it was something about toxic something. I don't know.
We recently had a blog about support groups and trauma bonding. And is a support group, or is the idea of trauma bonding, is it therapeutic? Sometimes yes, or is it toxic?
I think it depends. I think you should select what works best for you. Because RTD Thursday, again, for Pink Warrior Advocates programs, it was different than a lot of support groups, which it was supposed to be. It made room for the dark. It made room for the light. It made room for sexual talk, conversations, intimacy, body image. We brought in resources. It wasn't just like we're going to sit and be negative, which there's nothing wrong with if that's for you. But I don't know a lot of people that thrive in that environment. Personally, I wouldn't. I'm allowed to be sad, but when I go to these, I want my story to help impact somebody else. That's what's really giving me the power in my story, is that I can tell someone else, hey, I made it through and you can too. It may not look exactly the same, but like I do understand. And if you thought the same monster as somebody else, then nobody gets you more than that person. I don't think it's a one-stop shop. I really highly encourage you to find a group that works for you. And I would highly recommend trying to do some in-person ones. There's nothing quite like being with other people. It's just a different vibe than online. I did join a breast cancer Facebook support group. I'm not going to name it, but I saw so many people being negative and judgmental of other breast.
Really?
Yes. And I was like, I can't handle this. And I think that would be extremely overwhelming for somebody who was newly diagnosed. Just reading that, that's a lot. Even with people that I met through the nonprofit, we ended up making a newly diagnosed because they weren't ready to walk into a room bald in the throes of it with other people. And of course, you don't know someone's stage 4 based on how they look. If they have hair, Jen looked like the healthiest person until the very end of her lives. Even when you first get breast cancer, you assume everyone's bald and looks sickly and doesn't have eyebrows. So when you walk in a room full of people of various stages and various places in their surgeries or in their treatments, it can be overwhelming. So when we made the newly diagnosed, it was because we didn't want people to feel overwhelmed. It was just a couple people sitting around talking about the beginning part of it. Okay, how did you deal with these procedures? How did you deal with these surgery? A lot of people don't even know they have options. They've never met anyone else with breast cancer. So I definitely think you need to find what works best for you. Don't settle and don't feel like you're stuck in a support group because I think some can be toxic. And I think mental health go way further than just the physical part. Your body can give out long before your brain does.
And are there any elements that you find toxic in the virtual groups where people are?
Yeah, comparison. Let me rephrase that. Comparison in a negative context. People are people. And if I'm not being PC, there are plenty of people that are part of support groups that are just going to be negative no matter what and actually get offended by other people finding light or finding positivity. That's your deal. I have seen the comparison in the aspect of I have it worse than you, or even saying out loud, oh, well, at least I don't have stage 4 and a stage 4 warrior sitting in the room.
Right.
And so again,
So being mindful of how you.
very mindful because again, like that's why we ended up with a stage 4 group because those women,
they need their own.
some of the other warriors were saying, my worst nightmare is having stage 4. Well, they're sitting here living your worst nightmare. These are some of the most vivacious women with families and jobs and still living their best fucking lives. We also talked about heavier shit in those groups. I would help facilitate them. I don't think I'm special. I just think because I've had cancer several times, I always make room for death in my brain. I always make room for the hard, dark things. They needed that in that room. They couldn't talk about that scary shit because it scared the other warriors. Okay, so are we done?
We are halfway done. Now we're on to the next.
Oh, we're halfway.
One nip down.
Oh, we're living on a prayer. Sorry, sometimes I make my life a musical.
You want me to sing with you?
It's okay. You missed your cue.
I'll take it. I do it.
Oh, we're living on a prayer. Living on a prayer.
Do you feel like more?
No.
Okay.
How's that feel, baby?
How does that feel for you? Do you like?
Oh, I feel that more on that side. Why? How did you know?
Am I hurting you?
No, it's not bad, but how did you know that?
Because we're tattooing your native skin, your breast skin up here. Over there is on your skin island from your tummy. So more than likely, 9 times out of 10, you feel more on that chest skin. But I'll open it and then I'll start numbing it.
With a super clairvoyant again.
Or that. Or my psychic abilities.
It's like a lot of people, this is like their first tattoo, basically. Yeah, no, for me, I only started getting tattooed whenever I saw that my breast cancer warrior friends had sleeves. Josh was one of them. Stacey was the other, actually. And I was like, I could do this. I used to think I wasn't edgy enough. Like I looked too like square. And then I was bald as fuck. And I was like, no, bitch, if I can walk around like a bald testicle, I can definitely have sleeves before tattoo. And so I started and I just kept going. It's not complete still. It was therapeutic, honestly. I really enjoyed the process and I enjoyed the pain a little bit. I did have one when I was 18. It was like a, fuck you, I'm an adult tattoo. I think most people will take $75, picked it off the wall. It's a hummingbird on my leg. And then when I was 20, my sister and I got 3 hearts in our bikini area. But I always got them places they were hidden. Fun fact, when I did the deep flap, it actually cut a piece of one of the hearts off. I was thinking it would have been put up here, but I guess he didn't need that part. And Dr. Schneider, shout out to him because he does an incredible job. See him if you're in the Texas area, even if you're far away. Like I would absolutely recommend.
I'd have people travel for him.
I would. I think people should travel for y'all as well. It's his bedside manner. It's the entire experience. It's the caring. I truly opened my life. Like if I had not seen him, I don't think any other plastic surgeon would have considered or even thought twice about the extra breast tissue I had. So I give him full credit for me getting diagnosed the 3rd time. As much as that sucks, I'm so grateful for him. So, Krystal, I know that you're advocates and you have seen a lot of lawyers go through this, including your own mom. But I know recently I had watched that you had posted something about actually finding out that you were high risk. There's no wrong answer, but how are you dealing with that news? Because that's heavy shit.
Yeah, my mom was diagnosed when I was 19. I remember it might have taken her a minute to tell my brother and I truthfully that she was diagnosed because they were probably trying to figure out what's the right way. If I was 19, my brother was 11.
Oh, he was young.
He was young.
That's one of the hardest things you have to deal with when you have children.
Right. I remember just hearing the word cancer at a young, naive age and thinking my mom is dying. That's like all
Babe, I was an adult woman. And so that's the intrusive part, right? Like
that is the intrusive part.
Most people, that's one of their first or second thoughts. True.
In retrospect, working with the community and doing what I do from a nursing perspective, that wouldn't be my thought now, thankfully.
Right. But you have education on it.
Right. But then that's immediately where my 19-year-old brain went. I remember my mom had this manila folder with all of her pathologies and things in there. And I just went into the shower and cried. And I'm like, my mom is dying.
You're a shower crier too. Great place to.
I had to hide. Didn't want mom to see.
No, those are that's the best part. So
didn't want mom to see. And then from there, we researched the shit out of it, like what she could do, what she shouldn't do. We saw like deep flaps on YouTube. I remember telling my mom, like, if you need
They were new then. That was it was new,
but my mom found it on YouTube and there you go. So she knew from the get-go that she wanted bilateral mastectomy with deep flap. She did not want implants. And that was all research that she did on her own, like back then. Thankfully, we're in San Antonio where there was PRMA.
Yes, travel from all across the country
to come see them. Yeah.
More people are learning how to do it now because it's becoming so prevalent. There were not that many nationwide that did deep flaps. So again, for her to have found that at that time, amazing.
And where they do it day in, day out, not like once a month and then get failed flaps. You don't want to fail flap if you can avoid it.
Yeah, I feel like cancer is more than enough. You don't really need to deal with the side effects of surgery that goes wrong.
And thankfully, she found it early. She did genetic testing. She had a variant of unknown significance. So just meaning there wasn't enough research around it. My 19-year-old self didn't want to have that information in my brain space 10, 15 years. Like, what am I going to do? Am I going to act on that information right away? No, I want to have kids first and live. I had some control of the scenario. Not everyone has that control. So I was like, okay, I'll get genetically tested, but I'm going to wait. And usually they say wait 10 years prior to your mother's diagnosis. So she was 45. So I knew hopefully I had until I was like 35 to figure out that information and determine what I want to do. So when I turned 30, I got genetically tested. And within that time, like from age 19 to 30, my uncle passed of brain cancer. That was her brother. So there's just a lot of cancer on my family. So they did like a full panel and I was all negative. So then we just knew we need to do surveillance. Come age 35, they wanted to start doing like the mammograms. So when I recently went to see a breast surgeon, she was like, okay, let's just rotate every 6 months, mammo, MRI. And that's what we'll do.
So that's essentially what they do for somebody that's quote high risk.
High risk.
I was the same when I was younger. You're kind of like naive intentionally. In the breast cancer community, I've seen a lot of women who are mother-daughter pairs and none of them had genetic markers. So
you're the same environment.
Right. If it's environmentally caused, which I think we overlook that a lot. But again, with the age that it's happening more and more with women who just had children, hormonal things. So I just think there's a lot to play nowadays that there wasn't back 30, 40 years ago. I'm really proud of you for continuing to advocate for yourself. Though it is scary, I think about that too with my daughter. They are able to get screened sooner. And I do think there's a happy medium between living your life in fear, oh my God, what if I get cancer, versus having knowledge on it. Let's say you have a BRCA and you have a really high chance of getting breast cancer within your lifetime. You can have a prophylactic mastectomy, which is what we talked about earlier.
Kind of at your convenience.
At your convenience. And also, it may mean that you don't have to do chemo or radiation because you catch it early enough and remove it early enough.
Working here in this community, seeing the options, I can 100 million% say that I don't have fear of a diagnosis. I understand that maybe that'll occur, maybe it won't, like who knows? Based off of the surveillance plan that I have, if something does occur, I genuinely believe that it would be caught early. Also, checking your breast, knowing your body, doing the things that you have control of, like having a mindful diet, don't be a freaking alcoholic. take care of yourself.
Wow, you're taking all the fun out of life.
You can have some alcohol. They actually, people who drink a little, maybe they live a little longer.
I mean, I know some
It's
people-
because of the social.
You're right. You're right. Everything in moderation. I want you to know I'm always here if you do ever feel any feelings. But I also am in no way surprised by your answer because, and you're such a calming person. You're allowed to be afraid, again, but you don't have to live in it constantly. You're right. You get no control over what happens. So why sit and let your brain just eat
But
that?
I'm able to like say that I'm not afraid because of all the amazing things and innovations that doctors and surgeons have done, what we are doing. That's why
all the
I
warriors.
know that this can help a survivor being able to see this. That way they don't have that fear.
A lot of the women that I know that ended up with stage 4 had that story. Is you're too young to have it. I was unluckily lucky that because I had childhood cancer and my OBGYN was like, yeah, let's just get it done. It's probably nothing, is what she said. But let's go ahead and get you screened anyway. Thank God. Thank God she did. If you're hearing that excuse, find another doctor because it's
Yes.
seriously. That's absolutely fucking unacceptable in the breast cancer community. I think it's less and less so.
But we still hear stories, 20-year-olds,
Well, hopefully with things like this and a lot of the other women that you know that have platforms or even y'all using your platform to educate and advocate, I can't see it continuing to be a trend. I think there's going to be further and further between that you see women that are told they're too young because I don't really think that exists anymore.
Well, and age is one thing, but also just being dismissive. I know my mom, she felt something was off with her breast. She had breast pain, and usually they say breast pain is not indicative of breast cancer.
Right.
It must be something else. So she went to urgent care because it was the weekend, and she was like, I need to get this checked now. The doctor there was like, it's your underwire bra. Stop wearing those bras. You're doing this to yourself. She was like, I can't believe she told me that. That's wrong. Something is wrong. These aren't gods. Like they don't know everything. And they're going to make mistakes, but also acknowledge when you don't know and be willing to order a flipping image.
How
Just
does-
order the image. You're not paying for
You
it.
literally use your wrist to sign it. You don't even have to fucking do the sonogram, the mammogram. That's somebody else's job. Just fucking give them the order. It's really not that hard. Anyway, have y'all gotten to a place where you're able to do insurance for this yet?
We do insurance reimbursement. We've had some success, some not successes.
And that's based on their insurance picking back, I'd imagine.
Some insurances are easier to work with when it comes to reimbursement, but it's a hard fight regardless of what your insurance is, to the point where one of our ladies, she helped write an appeal letter for us and we've given that to people. But unless you're going to fight to get reimbursed, a lot of times in this day and age, you won't get reimbursed.
Insurance has become tricky to navigate over the 5 years that we've been open. And they used to reimburse a lot more readily than they do now. But what's important for people to know is there is a law protecting nipple tattooing. It's part of your breast reconstruction. If they cover mastectomy and reconstruction, they are required to cover the nipple tattooing. And a lot of times what you'll hear from insurance is them saying it's cosmetic and they won't cover it. It should never be so. It's not cosmetic at all. So we have a lot of information on our website to get women and verbiage women the verbiage to get this service covered through insurance. And the website has kind of a step-by-step process.
Or a lot of times, like chatting with your insurance prior to having the service rendered, getting them on a recorded line, getting a plan in place before having the service. That way they have notes in their database to go back to. Sometimes they try to go back on their word though, which is not appropriate.
No, it was even with my deep flap, my insurance, I had to call and they're like, we'll cover the deep flap. We won't cover the removal of the old implants. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like,
How are we going to get to the deep without?
I have breast cancer. I need these removed. I'm doing this reconstruction. This is all covered. I brought up the app that is covered under. But this goes back to you have to advocate for yourself. And don't worry. I don't think there's anything wrong with being a parent. Or if you want to call it being a Krystal with a K or a C at this point, you can call it that. Or Courtney with a T. And that's why I got the haircut.
It's one of my steps.
So are you talking about on the Perky website, they can actually find this stuff? So go to perky.com and you can actually find how to apply with your insurance and fight the good fight if you want your nipple to be covered, which you should. But again, there's also the program, the physical restoration program, the national, and you can go to perky.com and apply for that program as well. And you guys basically handle that portion of it. So on a scale of 0 to 10, Krystal, with a C, how shocked were you when I told you I wanted to get nipple tissues.
Really excited. I think you had told Courtney first. I was doing like your aunt's eyebrows.
That's right.
I just finished your brows. So then I found out afterwards. And that was really exciting because I didn't think that this was the avenue you wanted. So I love that for you. And you know what? This year I've heard the same story from a few people that we didn't think wanted nipple tattoos. They came around.
You can call them tattoos.
Tattoos.
99, but just no. I was surprised myself. I'm actually still surprised. I'm super surprised.
You're like, oh shit, what am I doing?
My tattooed eyebrows are like, whoa. Perky and Spy Perky. What else can I get done here?
No, I think we had designed that you were going to.
I was waiting for you to do that so I could see it.
Yeah, and that's super cool. I could totally see that for you, and you'll not burn that bridge.
You could still do it.
Absolutely. You guys were telling me about a chick in Boston that does tissues. And mostly like floral and whatever. Or male. I'm so sorry. So a male. And we apologize. Apologies, kind sir. But no, I would absolutely love to do a mixture because I do still believe these bitches trying to kill me and they need to be art. But I like the idea of the combination now. I'm very, very excited. Seeing the women in on Ono bras that are like sheer. I don't know. There's just something so beautiful and powerful and sexy. And nobody knows looking from the outside. They really don't know.
It's for you. It's for you and like your intimate life and
Yes.
you know, whoever you want
And
to
all
see them.
70 people that follow me.
And all of Spotify.
Spotify, YouTube. Shout out to all of you who come block this because these are just tattoo nipples for reconstruction purposes only. Thank you. Please do not block this. So speaking of Ono, since I just brought them up, they're created by Dana Zonafree, and it's funny because Ono is take out the double D's because she had a mastectomy. I don't know if y'all knew that or not, but that's where the Ono came from because it's Dana.
I'm beyond obsessed with that.
That's
She's the coolest fucking person on the planet. Hi, Dana. Shout out to you. Well, thank you. I love you. She created these incredible mastectomy bras. I mean, they're for everybody, really. They're saying like one boob, two boob, no boob foods or something like that. She has ones that are straight after mastectomy. They actually were kind enough. When I did my deep black, they sent me a can and a bra. I had already ordered some, but when she found out about it, she said, "Well, it was very, very sweet."
Yeah, it's the Aurora post-mastectomy bra. It's so soft. We have one here.
Yes. And it's medically exactly what you need because you leave with that really scratchy, the sticky, like, Velcro, not sexy. And you only get one bra maybe, but also it was a lifesaver for the drains to have like the rows. So shout out to them. And again, Peak Wear Advocates has a bra program, and actually our Perky girls are sponsors of that, right? So they go hand in hand. And if you're looking for a great mastectomy bra or even post-mastectomy, post-surgery bra, they have some incredible stuff. So check them out on Ono.
Did you mention about the photos with the mesh bras? That was such a fun campaign. And what we did is we had our ladies, their nipple tattoos, the Ono mesh bras, sexy, a little peekaboo. I want that for you. Next time we have a photo shoot, you need to be the star.
I mean, say less.
I'm there. There will be snacks.
There's mimosa.
No, I got a little salami, cheese, and cracker.
Can I have pepperoni? I'm not a salami girl. Hi, mommy. I don't like salami. Okay. No, but yes, I'm absolutely fucking there. 100%. Free model. I'm in. I will take any job. If I'm willing to show my fake tattoo nipples online, I think I can easily be.
Kind of envisioning
Stacey, is Stacey going to listen to this?
Let me ask her now. Hey,
Stacey,
can you go ahead and leave a comment on here if you want to be a model with me for Perky? Thank you. She said yes.
I'm kind of envisioning you guys together both alone.
I would love that. Now I'm going to cry again. We just have a lot of history. She also was very close friends with Jen.
Yeah.
Jen changed both our lives completely. Her and I bonded tremendously, and we still are. That would be one of the coolest things. Yeah. Absolutely. My gosh, are we done? This was absolutely painless, and my husband Drew has no idea who's doing this. I'm going to do a reveal to him when I get home later and catch his reaction on camera. I do want to warn you guys, whenever we told his parents that I was pregnant, like, I'm excited. So it might just be that, like, oh, baby girl, I don't get it.
what if he's happier about your nipples
Than I am?
No, then I'm pregnant.
That's crazy, guys. I'm just speechless. I did not. Wow. They look so much better than my regular ones did. Oh my God. I'm whole again.
Yay. You look beautiful and you had great skin.
Thank you. Thank you guys both so much. I absolutely love them. I'm going to try not to cry anymore. I love you guys so, so much. Check out our Perky girls. They are incredible. If you want to support for the breast cancer warriors and for these ladies, check out the Perky Restoration Program, the bra program. Both of those you're going to find at peakwarrioradvocates.org website. Please donate to them, and or you can even buy your bras through the Ona Ona program. It actually goes back towards the program. It helps fund itself. Literally every program is connected somehow. Every single one is helping the 1 in 8 warriors that are impacted by breast cancer. I'll do my plug now. Check us out at flattwist.com. I'm also going to create a blog with these beautiful ladies' information on it. That way, you know a little more about the Perky program, and I will put a place that you can actually donate there. If you have any questions about this, please feel free to reach out. Thank you guys so much for listening and supporting. And you can email me at flatfiststillalive@gmail.com. One more thing that I want to do, because this is going to be released on our Girls' Day, as I want to say happy birthday to Jen. We love you. We miss you. And we try to keep you alive through what we do and how we support the warriors. So happy birthday, Jen.
Happy birthday.
Love you. We've got to end this shit the right way. So we're going to do a 3-way high five. Still alive. Krystal, do your evil laugh. Okay, I just need your opinion on something. Okay, ready?
Whoa. Are those real?
What do you mean?
No, they're awesome.
Yeah, they're real. They're permanent. What do you think?
They're beautiful though.
No, seriously.
No, I love it.
Are you going to say, I'm excited like that?
I'm excited. No, it's actually awesome, baby. It's kind of hard to tell because of plastic, but
I want to get closer without the camera.
can I touch them?
Off camera. Oh my God, don't make it weird. This is going in the podcast.
What?
You really like them for real? Yeah. Because I was like, I got very emotional myself. I got them for both of us. Now I can't say I don't have nipples. There goes my tagline.
I have fake nipples.
So you give Perky 1 thumb, 2 thumbs, 1 for each nipple.